Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from Championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20, breaks free to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40 midfield. 40, 30 in the coast. 20, 15. Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it for Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up? What up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this Hump Day edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. Listen, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. Now, if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Listen, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. Excellent. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning. Go to that Facebook page as well. Like that page as well. And now you're following Shawn and Maya, just like you're following Sports Zone Chicago. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, listen, go to YouTube, type in Chicago, click the subscribe button. All right. Sorry, I didn't like the crease under my arms. Click the subscribe button. Okay. And click the little bell. That's the notification button that's right next to it. All right. Do that. And that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. If you're watching us on our mobile app, wait, you didn't know we had a mobile app? Come on now. What is wrong? Come on, man. Where you been? Listen. If you're watching us on our mobile app, that's excellent. But if you're not, and you haven't downloaded the app, here's what you do. Go to wherever you get your apps from. I don't care where you get them from, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Wards, Venture, Woolworth, wherever you get them from. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it, you take us with you on the go, and not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only are they archived there, like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping your abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Now, if you're watching this on a Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. Yay. Listen, if you don't know, you better ask somebody. We have our own Roku channel. Listen, Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. If you're watching us on that, excellent. I love it. So here's what you do. If you have a Roku TV in the house, do us a favor. Download the Sports Zone Chicago tile. All right, put it right there next to Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, HBO Max, or it's called Max now. Paramount Plus, Showtime, Stars. Just put it right next to there. Right smack dab right there. Okay, you can download it and watch us on a big screen. Hell, we're live there, right, Mickey Ficky? Now we're live there. All right, so do us that favor. All right, and here's the thing. If you have more than one Roku television in the house, do us a favor and download it to all of the Roku devices that you have in the house. I know you might not watch it in the kids' room because that's where they watch their, I don't even know, Barney's old school. Who do you watch? Who do the kids watch? I don't know. If they're watching Teletubbies or whatever the kids watch nowadays, please just do us a favor. Just download it to that TV regardless. It would be greatly, greatly appreciate it. Now, you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at SportsZoneShy. That's CHI at SportsZoneShy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me, personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. You want to know what I did? Here's what I did. I mean, nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the Snapper, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host Maya Kai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. And if you want to follow her on Instagram, because you're an IGer and you do it just for the gram, well, just follow her at Maya_Kai. It's MAYA_AKAI. We have a phenomenal show. You are not going to want to miss this one. But first of all, we need you to get interactive with us. So listen, whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's our mobile app, leave a question or comment on that particular platform. And guess what? It'll come here in the thread. And we'll put it up on the screen. And we'll incorporate it into the show. And you know what? That's why that's what makes this the best Chicago sports morning talk show around. All right, as your questions, comments, smart ass remarks, bring them. Ain't nobody scared over here, baby. Like The Rock said, don't sing it, bring it. So bring it all. Okay, we welcome everything. Let's check out the chat line. See what you jokers are up to this morning already. Cornelia Squalls in the Mickey Ficky house. What up? Michelle Walls, happy hump day, Papa. How you doing? There's my man, Armando Emeterio. Lara Jr., he's in the house. Junior, what's up, baby? Thanks for tuning in, big dog. Lavette Lee, she's in the Mickey Ficky house. Good morning, my girl, Monica. How are you, honey? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. And if Monica's watching, that means Jeremiah has got to be watching. So Jeremiah and Dito, I know you're at school, but Jeremiah and Dito, good morning, guys. Appreciate it and love you. Love you too both. I love all you guys. Let's see. Yes. Listen. So when I say we have a phenomenal show, I am not bull jiving. 10 o'clock. I cleared the schedule. We're going to go with him for 45 minutes. Half hour, about 45 minutes today. He's back. Eric Kramer is going to join us today. And I don't know if you remember Eric from last year or if you remember him from his days with the Bears, but if you watch him on our show last season, excuse me, you know he doesn't pull any punches. You know, he's very critical of Justin Fields early on. Even I was like, come on, dude, give him a break. And as the season rolled on and they started making adjustments for Justin, he said, okay, now he's playing much better. So he's definitely not one to bite his tongue and hold back. And I'm excited to see, anxious to see and hear what he has to say about the Bears' performance, their abysmal performance on Sunday, the play calling of Luke Getsy, the indecisiveness of Justin Fields, and the overall embarrassment of a loss that the Bears had on Sunday. So our man, Eric Kramer, is going to be, he's going to be here at 10 o'clock. You do not want to miss that. Make sure you call your mother, call your father, call your brothers, call your sisters, call your aunts, call your uncles, call your friends. Let them know. Eric Kramer, today, 10 o'clock. Woo-wee. He's about to go scorched earth on people. I presume he's going to go scorched earth. Oh my goodness. Gotta make a hell of a tea. Whew. But I am predicting him to go scorched earth on the Bears, as well as you should. I mean, you heard my rant on Monday. You heard my rant. All right, you saw it. You know how I feel. You know how passionate I am about my Bears. You know how passionate I am about those who are blessed enough to play this game called football. You know, if you're not playing it at a level that it needs to be played, I'm not very happy about it. I'm not very happy about it. And we're gonna see we're gonna see some stuff. We're gonna see some things, and we're gonna talk about some players. And you know what? Players have talked about players. about the effort or lack thereof that we've seen from certain players on this team. And it's not going to be nice. And I'm telling you, I don't like what I'm seeing. And it's one game. But my thing is this. If there's any game that one, you should be prepared for, two, you should have max effort, it's week 1. Why you're we don't have the juice is what some of the guys said. Why do you not have the juice? Why do you not? This is week 1. You've trained all off season for this. And you don't have the juice. You're not fired up. You're not. I don't know. We're going to talk to Eric Kramer, and believe you me, he's going to have something to say about it. No, it's not. It's Shorty's in the house. What's up, baby? Mr. Shorty. No. It's not. Believe you me, it's not shit week. No. Okay. It's not. However, he does get some of the blame. He is not going to be absolved from it because a lot of other people are on it. No. All right. He's going to get it from us. Okay. And the thing that he's going to get it from us is because you've made those throws before. You've made those throws. Okay. You've made them. We've seen you make them. And why you couldn't make them the other day? I don't know. You know, we're going to talk, and you know, I told you, Eric's not going to bite his tongue. Eric is not going to bite his tongue, nor should he. You know, Junior and I can relate. Anyone else who's played football in the chat room can relate. You are blessed and privileged to play this game. There are millions and millions of people who would die to play this game. Some have at that level. Some have. Okay. He's got to play better. You get 17 chances. All right. 17 chances you get. And you can't waste one. And then all the hype, all the Green Bay and Chicago, the longest rivalry in the NFL. You know, the whole is the second game of the 325 game. So 3/4 of the country is watching from the East Coast all the way to the Rocky Mountains. Everybody's watching that game. Okay. This is the year the Bears were supposed to take the North. Aaron Rodgers is gone. We won't talk about him. We will, but sucks to be him. A whole bunch of hype, and you come out flat. You come out flat. We're going to talk to Eric and get his thing. And you know, Cornelius, we'll ask him. I'll ask Eric, does his drop back need to be quicker? All right. Does it need to be quicker? Now, you know, my question is this, like what? But even, and here's the thing, like how much does, like I get it. You want to get back as soon as you can, as fast as you can, one, to avoid the rush, but two, the longer you have to see, you're able to see. But if you're dropping back, you're still looking. You see what covers they're in. They played a deep cover 2. So you knew that was the coverage you were getting most of the time. So you know where your routes are being run, so it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. Yeah. Steve-O, I don't. There's 1, there's 2. Oh, yeah, sorry. We had this. I don't see it, Steve-O. He's in the back right here putting some stuff on. I see Bears 1, Bears 2, and then it goes to Sox. And then it goes to Sox. But anyway. So does it matter? You know where your routes are being run. So whether you get back there really quick or you get back there a little slower, you know where your routes are being run. You know your routes. You know your pass tree is. You know what I mean? So I don't know how much that has an influence on, the speed of the drop back. But I'll ask him. Yeah, it depends. It depends if you don't know where the routes are. I mean, if it's a 3-step drop, trust me, I get the concept. If he gets there back there faster, he can get the ball faster. But when they're running their routes, if it's an intermediate to deep route, a 3-step drop, he's not taking an hour to get back there. You know what I mean? It's 1, 2, 3, throw 1, 2, 3, and for him it could be 1, 2, 3. You still should have time. But don't get me wrong. I'd like a quarterback to get back there and be able to read. Yeah, I don't know about his long release. Yeah, I don't know about that release. We'll see. We'll talk to Eric. I'll ask him. But they just didn't seem in rhythm. All right, offensively, defensively, and to me, I'm telling you, I think the biggest part, and it's not that 3rd and 4th down. And you're going to ask, well, how does that affect Justin? If you're at the game and you know what? Yeah, Steve, let's run it. But give me a second, Steve. Let me set it up. If you're at the game, you saw the craziness and the intensity and the passion that the fans had. We've been waiting for this since our 10-game losing streak. Well, not 11, but after losing 10 in a row, we're excited. We're waiting. All the additions in the offseason. We're ready to explode. And if on the first series, you come in and you make a statement with a huge 3rd and 1 run with the way I said it, the way I described it and detailed it, get a lineman in motion. He reports as eligible. Come put him in motion. Wham blocks the tackle or kicks out the defensive end. Fullback leading up behind that, and then Roshan Johnson or even Deontay Foreman. He's a powerful runner too. Khalil Herbert is the least of the 3 powerful runners. I can even go with Deontay Foreman because he's a vet. He's done it before. Even if you didn't want to put in Roshan, okay, I get it. But you make that statement, and that could have really fired up Justin. With 60,000 strong going insane. Listen, I played in front of 60,000. And at home, we only had about 25, 30 at Holy Cross a week. But when I went to Army and we played in front of 55, 60,000 screaming cadets, it was nutso. Nutso. That was the last time I was ever intimidated in a game, too. It was my freshman year at Holy Cross. But I digress. You feel the energy. An opening drive. I don't think the coaches were ready. Let's not forget about them. Everyone's talking about the players. I don't think the coaches are ready. So, but listen, you know, we're going to end up going into. Well, yeah, we're not going to. So here's the thing. We're going to run this, and I'm going to run it again for Eric. But watch this clip, and if this doesn't piss you off, I don't know what does, because this pissed me off to no freaking end. A guy that it's one is in a contract year, two has been in the conversation of does he really want to play? He's out modeling in Europe. He's out at the NFL, explaining the game in Europe. He couldn't practice because of something and at OTAs, and he was hurt. And this is the performance that we get on the first day. His beginning of his contract year, this is the shit he puts on tape. Oh, missed block. Another miss. Oh, fumble. Oh, sorry, couldn't catch that. Oh, sorry, and miss. Hold, miss. Can't do it. Oh, you know, sorry, Darnell Mooney. Whoop. Yeah, I'm not getting the ball, so bump it. I'm not getting the ball, so bump it. If that wasn't the most half-assed effort that I've seen, yeah, it's still not coming up, Steve-O. Still not coming up. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break right here, and then we're going to come back with Top of the Morning. All right? We'll come back with Top of the Morning, and I don't know why we're having this issue with this one particular clip, but we'll come back with Top of the Morning. And yeah, I'll do that, Steve-O. And then we'll do Top of the Morning, and then we'll talk some baseball. All right? So listen, don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down because the number one rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. It is top of the morning. The first top of the morning topic today is this. The White Sox had a doubleheader yesterday against the Kansas City Royals over on the south side. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Game one, White Sox beat the Kansas City Royals 6-2. Dylan Cease, he got the win, 7-7 on the season. He went 5 1/3, 4 hits, giving up 1 earned run, 1 walk, 8 punch-outs. Santos came in for his 5th save of the season. Elvis Andrus was in the building. He was 2 for 4 driving in his 38th and 39th runs of the season. Gavin Sheets was 1 for 3, driving in his 33rd and 34th runs of the year. My man Yoan Moncada drove in his 35th RBI of the season. Excuse me. Game 2, not so good. The White Sox fall to the Royals 11-10. Came back after Tui Toussaint, who got a no decision. How he got a no decision, I don't know, but this was your boy. This is the offense that we know and love. They can put up points. They can score runs. Toussaint got a no decision. He went 1 inning, 6 hits, 8 earned runs, 2 walks, and 1 punch out, 1 strikeout. Eloy Jimenez was 2 for 5 with a homer, his 16th, driving in his 58th RBI of the year. Andrew Vaughn was 2 for 5 with a double, his 9th, driving in his 35th, 36th, and 37th runs of the season. And my man Yo-Yo, again, driving in his 36th run of the year, going 1 for 5. This is the offense that we knew we had. 10 runs. After you gave up 8 in the first inning, you're able to put up 10 runs. 10 runs. That's crazy. That's crazy. My man. Oh, my man's in them. Bellissimo in the house. Good morning, baby. Top of the morning to you. Yes, sir, Bob. My man Bellissimo checking in from across the pond. Good to see you, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Woo-wee. And you're going to want to stay on. 10 o'clock, Eric Kramer is going to join us. And I'm excited about his take on the game. The White Sox are right back at it. They get a little bit of a break tonight, 6:40. All right, Mike Clevenger's on a bump for the good guys. He's 7-7 with a 3.64 ERA going up against Cruz, who's 0-0 with a 7.20 ERA. As I said, first pitch 6:40. That game is on NBC Sports Chicago, or you can listen to it on their flagship AM 1000. What do we got, people? My man Brandon, be nice. Brandon checking in from the left coast. I appreciate it. Appreciate you checking in, Papa. That's awesome. The next top of the morning topic, the Cubs. Yeah, the Cubs fall to the Rockies 6-4. Javi Assad, he got the no decision. He was 3 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 4 walks, 4 punch outs. Mr. Outcast himself, Heiya Suzuki, was 3 for 4 with a homer, his 17th of the season, driving in 3 runs, his 60th, 61st, and 62nd runs of the year. And newly called up rookie Pete Crow Armstrong, PCA, he got in on the action, driving in his first RBI of the year. The Cubs are now 4 games back of Milwaukee. They have to be very careful. They cannot fall too far back. I know there's only less than 20 games left, if I'm not mistaken. My math Let me do the math in my head real quick. The Cubs are 78 and 68, 10 over, 130, 146. So you have 16 games left. You can't get too far behind because the last series will be rendered null and void if you're more than 3 games back. So if you go into that last series down 4 games, you're done. You're done. Whew. Yeah, it's Cubs. You're hitting a rough stretch, man. You're hitting a rough stretch. But today, all right, quick for the Cubbies as they're in Colorado. Jameson Taillon, he's on the bump for the Northsiders. He's 7-9 with a 5.27 ERA going up against Ty Blanche, who's 2-1 with a 4.58 ERA. First pitch is at 2:10 Central Time. You can watch that on the Marquee Network or listen to it on their flagship 670 AM. The Cubs need to. They're in. This is playoff baseball for them. All right, this last month of the season is playoff baseball for them. They can't have these mishaps. They just can't. All right, not now. All right, what the Cubs need to do would be great for them if they went on like a 5-game win streak, 5 or 6 game win streak. I would cut the lead probably to 2, maybe 1 game, because Milwaukee. I assume Milwaukee's going to lose 1 in one of those times. But you get it to 2, you keep it to 1-2, 1-2, 1 or 2, or hell, if they hit a little snag, you might even get yourself tied for the division lead for, and now your season is down to what, 10 games, and you're both tied. So I wouldn't say don't focus on Milwaukee, focus on yourselves. Getting to the point where you're winning. Now you can't win series. You got to sweep. So you got to take 5 out of 6. So sweep and then 2 out of 3 from the next series. All right, and hope Milwaukee can stumble. All right, but the only thing you can control is what you can control, and that's how you play. That's how you pitch. That's how you play defense. It's gonna be one hell of a ride, man. I'm telling you. I think this is really fun for Cub fans. I mean, if it was us, it's definitely not. I'd be enjoying it. I'd be enjoying the hell out of this meaningful baseball this late in the season. Well, the next top of the morning topic, the Sky. Woo, Charlie. The Sky, we talked about it on Monday. The Sky made the playoffs on the last day of the season. They captured that 8th spot. And now they face the number 1 seed, Las Vegas Aces. They were swept by the Aces this season, 3-0. Or 0-3, I should say. Las Vegas is one of the 2 super teams that the WNBA has created, which I think is a bad look for them. Them with the New York Liberty. But it's the playoffs. And regular seasons records don't matter in the playoffs. So, yeah, wow, look at this. Regular seasons don't matter. Okay? And when I was on What's Up Cuz on Monday, and I was saying this is the way the series goes, and it's due to financial things, but the first 2 games are in Vegas, so it's a best of 3 series. Let me preface it by saying that it's a best of 3 series. The first team to 2 wins. I don't like that. Well, in this case, I do. Because if the Sky can steal one, guess where the deciding game is? Here in Chicago. So I think that kind of sucks because you're the number 1 seed. You busted everybody's ass all year long, and you don't get the deciding game of a series at your Arena? I get it. All right, they're strapped for money, and you got to fly from the team from Chicago to Vegas. Then both teams got to fly from Vegas to Chicago, and if necessary, both teams would have to fly back to Vegas if it's a third game. It's a lot of travel, a lot of plane tickets, a lot of hotels. This way they make it easier and cut down on the travel, save a little money. I get it. But if I'm the Aces, that has to be reevaluated, because if for some reason we lose, isn't that the whole reason? One of the biggest reasons you're fighting for the number 1 overall seed, or the highest seed you can get, is to have the deciding game, game 3, game 5, game 7, however many games you play in a series. But in this case, it's 3, and the championship is 5. Other ones is 5. You want the deciding game at your arena at home. And I'm not sure how they do it for the rest of the playoffs. But for this one, the first round, yeah, it doesn't work well. It doesn't bode well. Now, I don't think that the Sky's going to put up much of a fight. They were just decimated. They're decimated by the mass exodus of starters and key players last year. And then Vegas was a super team. You got about 4 or 5 studs on that team who would be a star on any other team. So, but you know what? That's why they play the games. That's why they play the game. And you know what? The Sky were predicted to miss the playoffs. All right, the coach left midseason again, which I thought was a shitty move. I thought it was a cowardly move. Had James Wade stayed, the NBA season hasn't started yet. NBA season has not started yet. He could have taken this team into the playoffs. Probably would have had a better record. So he wouldn't have had to have maybe a 7th or 6th spot. So they would have avoided the Aces or the Liberty in the first round. But he left. He jumped ship quick. I still don't have respect for that dude because of that. Still don't have respect. I just think that was the shittiest thing to do, to leave your people. You couldn't even do it before the season started. You knew what. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I'm telling you, it's. Well, moving on. The next top of the morning topic: the Bears. The Bears prep for week 2, where they travel to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers, and multiple questions surround the team. I mean, hell, just look in the chat right now. They're going nutso. They're going nutso. My man, Be Nice from the left coast. All right, he's talking. Every quarterback reviews Justin's tape always starts with the pace of his drops. Mr. Shorty, he's like, hey, once the foot is planted, the ball should be coming out. Yeah, you can't say that. You can't say that because you don't know the route. You don't know the route. If it's a slant, yes. 1, 2, 3 throw, yes. If it's a deep out, what if it's a deep in? What's the curl route? What if it's a deep out? What if it's a post? Like, it's not. It's you can't say that. That's don't say you can't say that. Depending on the route, yeah, it should come out. But not all routes are the same. Short routes, yes. Intermediate to deep routes, no. So you can't say once that foot is planted, the ball should be coming out. Yep. I don't know about this, but it definitely helps. Well, here, Shorty, you're saying, why can't he study his release? So you're asking a guy to change his thing mid-season, literally mid-season, after 1 week. when he's been doing it this his whole life. This has been done in the offseason. All right, this stuff has to be done in the offseason. You can't say, okay, I need you to switch this up now. No, you don't. It's not about put 25-pound weights around each ankle. So now you're trying to fuck up his knee, right? Because you know it's a hinge. Ankle weights are the worst things that you can do. As the studies have come out, like it puts so much pressure on your knees because that's the hinge that is carrying and deals with the weight on your ankles. No, what you do is you put an athletic band or a elastic band around his waist. All right. But it's not the speed. He just needs to get back faster, period. All right. And you work on it with the elastic bands in the off season. And you can start doing it now every day. But no, you don't put 25-pound weights around each ankle. Shorty, you are old school like a son of a gun. No, I agree. Yeah. If hitches, yeah. Well, if it's a hitch, it's not a 3-step. Hitch, it's one big step and then throw. If it's a hitch, it's one big step and throw. So it's not even 3 steps. It's not 1, 2, 3 throw. If it's a hitch, it's whoop. 1, 2. No, how would you do that? It depends. It's usually one big throw. Get it, turn, and throw if it's a hitch. Because on 1, 2, 3, that plant foot in your fourth foot, your left foot will be your fourth one coming down. You're already angling toward that. That's at that point, it's that receiver stopped. That DB is already making a break on it. You know. It's so let me tell you. It's very easy. Why would he think that he has to work? And this is coaching. This is where coaching comes in. Because why would Justin think he needs to have a quicker drop back when his preseason stat line is pretty darn good? 2 tutties, Darnell Moore. It's a DJ Moore. Who was the first one was to fullback, Carter Blasting game. All right, got him in the flat. Okay. So he's not going to say, "Oh, hey, bro, I know how quickly you get rid of the ball." It's not that simple. It's easy for people to see afterwards, like, okay, he should have done this. He should have done that. Okay. Shorty's like, I'm just pontificating. I hear you. Pontificate away. But yeah, no, you're right. His feet. He got to get his feet set. It's all there. And I can tell you, Eric is going to talk about his feet. And then his decision making. Yeah. Hey, no need to apologize, bro. We're men. We fix problems. That's what we do. We're fixers. I get it. We're fixers. It's cool. But here's the thing that it's not just the offense, it's not just Justin, like with the offensive line. The coordinators they're not getting a pass because people are talking about the game plan. Like you guys are in here talking about the game plan. I don't know if Kevin Warren needs to come and talk to Coach Eberflus, or if Coach Eberflus needs to come and talk to Getsy, but there needs to be something. You know, you've all heard of the phrase "a puncher's chance," right? And do all you know what it means? Okay, for those of you who don't know what it means a boxer is definitely outclassed. Okay, one boxer is definitely outclassed. Other boxer is a much better boxer, pure boxer, footwork, speed, hand speed, all right, defense, the whole nine. But this guy has a chance because he throws haymakers. And if he catches you with one, you're down for the count. So that's when they say you got a puncher's chance. If you can sit there and punch, okay, and you deliver some nastiness behind your punches, you got a chance because you're always ready to knock someone out because you're a heavy hitter. The one thing that the Bears need to do is this. If you're not as talented as some people, which you won't be, you can be, the one thing that you can control is your physicality. You can win and beat teams by literally wearing them out. You can win by knocking the shit out of their number one receiver, knocking the shit out of their quarterback who has and bruises ribs. All right, there's a way to win. And I can tell you, there were so many. My senior year in high school, we played St. Pat's. That was back then when the first game of the playoffs were on Wednesday. We actually played Sunday. I had 3 football games in 7 days. My last game football was on Saturday, usually on Saturdays. It was way before Friday nights. But we played at Loyola, and we played at Sunday. So we played Sunday. We played St. Pat's on Wednesday. St. Pat's was nowhere near as good as us. They made the playoffs. We were I think we were the 2nd or 3rd seed in the state. It might have been 2nd. I think about East St. Louis. But nonetheless, they came in and they were physical. That was the most physical game I had ever played in height to that point. And they stayed in it because they were tough kids, because they were physical. This is what you can do as the Bears when you're not as talented. And here's the thing. Here's the great part about it. Is when you get more talent, you're not going to stop being physical. That's going to become part of your DNA. So not only are you physical, but now you're actually more talented. And when you get more talented teams that are more physical than you, it's only a matter of time before the game's over. It's just Why do you say St. Pat sucks, Junior? Did they do Mondo wrong or something? Yeah, Cornelius, I agree. Who do you think should be gone? See, here's politics over performance. You have to give Chase Claypool time. Because that was the last pick of the first round, the 32nd pick. Remember, Dolphins didn't get a pick, had their pick taken because of their tampering with Tom Brady. Remember that? So they didn't get a pick. So that first pick of the 3rd round actually became the 2nd round for the Bears, actually became technically the last pick of the 1st round, 32 teams. That was the 32nd pick. So you gave up that for him. So you're not going to want to cut ties so quickly. It's easy to cut ties with $2 million. All right, like you did when you brought in PJ Walker. It's easy to cut ties that way. It's just money. But when you got draft capital, selected a player, imagine you selected a wide receiver. No, you know what's going to put him on notice? Here's what's going to put him on notice. Your ass don't dress next week. So here's what I'm going to say. Make a statement. You want to make a statement, Coach Eberflus? Here's the statement you make. You call Chase Claypool in, if you haven't done it already, and said, that shit is unacceptable. Here's what's going to happen. If you give me this bullshit effort again against the Buccaneers, you will not dress against the Chiefs. Yes, you will not dress against Kansas City. You will not. And once he sees what if he doesn't dress Chase Claypool, you don't think that's going to send a message through the locker room? Shit, you're damn right it will. You're damn right it will. Dude, I agree. Should be told, Brandon, I don't think he's coming back at all. I don't think, regardless of what year he has, I don't think he's coming back. Now, the best case scenario for the Bears is that Justin does very, very, very well. So there's no more questions about him. You got DJ Moore. You go re-sign Darnell Mooney. You don't got to sign Chase Claypool. You got Tyler Scott, and then you go draft another wide receiver. That's the best thing. Blocking is want to. Blocking is attitude. That's all that is. And that's a rookie, Tyler Scott. That's a rookie just trying to make the team. That's a rookie trying to impress the coaches. That's all that is. And he wants to do it. If he does, no. Here's an old saying. I can't believe I'm quoting Oprah. Actually, it's not Oprah. It's Maya Angelou who said it on Oprah. Once people show you who they are the first time, believe them. Believe them. Because I'm telling you, they didn't show it on camera because they don't. But when I'm at the game, Chase Claypool had his man beat. Justin didn't throw it to him. He was pissed. He was on his sideline. He walked off. He was down by he was in the end zone. Comes back out and just steps off the sideline from the 5-yard line, walking back because he's on the Bears sideline. Takes his helmet off and just you could tell from all the way up in the press box. You could tell this dude was just pissy. Pissy. I get it, dude. I understand you want the ball. I understand you're open. I get it. But there's a better way to handle things. You go in the locker room and say, "Hey, bro." Okay, he gets to the sideline. I'm open. Throw me the goddamn ball. Him or DJ Moore could have said the same thing. There's a better way than acting like a little prima donna biatch. You know? Yeah, Brandon, I don't go that route. And here's why. The reports were that the only reason he got Claypool was because it was rumored that the Packers were after him. And he didn't want Chase Claypool going up to Green Bay because remember, that was when Rodgers didn't have a really good connection yet with Romeo Doubs and definitely not Christian Watson. Remember, he talked about these rookies got to do this and blah, 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 and they were talking. And Christian Watson really hadn't turned into the threat that he was going to become. He still hasn't turned into the star yet, but he's got potential. And Romeo Doubs, same thing. So the Bears superseded it and say, "Hey, we'll offer it." And the reason the Pittsburgh Steelers took the Bears offer as opposed to the Packers because they knew the Bears would be crappy and they'd have a higher pick. Because I think they both offered a second-round pick. But because the Bears were crappier, they were going to have a higher second-round pick. And that was the reason. The Bears just try to block the Packers from getting him. How good would that have been? But then again, you got to look. It's situation because what if he goes there and Aaron Rodgers ain't putting up with shit either. Let's be honest. Aaron Rodgers would have had a talk with him. Justin needs to have a talk with this guy. And dude, stop fucking around or I'm going to tell coaches not to play you. This is my team. And I don't remember we talked about on Monday and we talked about this on What's Up Cuz. You got to have a little bit of asshole in you. You have to. You have to. Justin, this is your team. And believe you me, if you say, "Hey, coach, I want this," Ryan Poles, "I want this, I need this," they're going to try and get it. They're going to try and get it. I think that he's a free agent when he can go get one out of the draft with 2 first-round picks. Now maybe that changes if you just decide Justin. You come to the conclusion that Justin isn't your guy, and you need to draft another quarterback. Okay, but I think he'd rather go edge rusher or 3 tech, and then wide. I mean, you can get wide receivers in the second round. Maybe that'll be your second round. The 2 first rounders are offensive line, defensive line, 2 defense. I say 1 and 1. Give me an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman. Give me a 3 tech. And then get a wide receiver in the second round. There's plenty of skill players you can get. I just don't think he wants to spend that money. Because if Justin is your dude, you're going to have to get the wide receiver in the second round because you're going to have to decide to pay him. You're going to have to decide to pay him. Well, it looks like we're going to end up talking baseball after Eric comes on. Because I got fired up. And you know what? I don't apologize. I love talking football. I love talking Bears, and the way that they showed out was embarrassing. Just out and out embarrassing. Here, one more time, just for shits and giggles. This is Chase Claypool and his lackluster effort. Missed block. Drop screen. Missed block. 2 missed blocks. Drop screen. 3 missed blocks. Drop screen. One half-ass coming off. 2 half-ass coming off. 3 missed blocks. 2 half-ass takeoffs and a drop screen. 3 missed blocks, 2 shitty half-ass takeoffs, and a drop screen. One of his missed blocks got his boy Darnell Mooney blown up. Bears got the worst of it on that one. Hey, listen. It happens. So stop complaining. We got to stop complaining about it. All right? It's over. Ryan Poles took a chance. It didn't work out. No, because what if it had? What if he did come in here and do that? It's a chance. There's a chance that it goes well. There's a chance that it doesn't go well. And you got to be okay with both of them. Because if you look at it, he didn't go get a 7th round pick who got no playing time for Pittsburgh. He got a guy who's productive with Pittsburgh. So it's a chance. He wanted to improve this, give Justin another weapon, block the Packers. It was okay. It's a fine move. Because if he performed the way he did in his first couple of seasons, because you're getting a proven NFL receiver. And now you didn't have to draft one at that particular spot. You're getting one. It's just you don't know how people are going to react. They're dealing with humans now. You're dealing with human beings, so you don't know how they're going to react. Nate Davis is another one. Get to do $30 million. He's got personal issues and whatever, and I don't know about what his personal issues are, but you didn't know that these things are going to occur. The things are going to unroll. They're going to play out this way. Because if you did, hell, GMs would never make a wrong move. Come on now. Listen, we got to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to welcome our guy, Eric Kramer. I'm fired up. Man, call your friends, call your parents, call your siblings. It's about to go down. EK Pass, Twitter handle. He's about to go off. And that, I can tell you, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I know Eric is not going to have some nice things to say about Justin. And he shouldn't, because Justin played like shit. But it doesn't mean his season's over. It doesn't mean Justin sucks. It means he had one game that he played like shit. But Eric Kramer on the other side of the break, so don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
To run for 17. Back he goes. Here comes Chubb. There goes the ball. Touchdown! Jones will walk at the right tackle. Time for Fields. Now he'll accelerate to get the first down. Great tackles, and he's off to the races. And we got a terrific block.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
So I've come up with the family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I need for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
These scissors really come in handy in art class. These colored pencils, too.
These new socks, they can be a real lifesaver.
I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
They make the trade for DJ Moore, and he changes that quick. Meanwhile, set up a screen to Herbert. Gets a block, makes a cut, breaks a tackle. Herbert across the 25 and a first down for the Bears. So how do the Bears respond? It's Fields on the move. First read, not there, fires, and that is caught. That's a strike to Moon. Blitz coming. Fields spins away on his feet, looking to throw. Now we'll tuck it and run. Oh, good move and a first. Made a lot of people miss. More importantly, picked up the first down. Here's Foreman right off the gut. Deontay Foreman breaking tackles, and he's got a big run. As their two-man punch in the run game. So DJ Moore in motion, hasn't had a target yet. Fields looking his way, throwing that way. There's target one and catch one, and Moore breaks it.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Fox. Those are some of the good plays. Some of the good plays. And there weren't enough of them. So listen, I'm not even going to waste any more time. Glad we didn't have him on Monday. We have him on today. We had to let him simmer. Because I didn't know he might have come out here and start cussing everybody out. Because I know I wanted to cuss everybody out on Monday. Man, you know what time it is. It's time for our man, Eric Kramer.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they want to go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed him. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing, so cold.
What up, Eric? What's going on, my man? How you doing?
Well, like everybody right now that's paying attention to this Bear fiasco, you showed 5 plays. I didn't know there were that many good plays.
I'm telling you, it was. So I got credentials, so I'm in the press box now. So if you come in, let me know, and we'll meet up.
I was actually there. I was in the stand.
Shut the front door! Oh my God! And I was
what?
gonna, you know what? I was gonna text you because they did say it was alumni. I'm like, I didn't know if he was coming. I should have texted you. Oh my goodness! Oh,
it was one of the harder watches probably ever. In fact, when you showed the screen pass to Khalil Herbert, I was like, oh, all right, there's a good play, right? Everyone else was thinking, okay, we might be off to a good start here. And then all of a sudden they go for it on 4th and 1 from near midfield. I'm like, what the fudge? And the guy sitting in front of me is like, oh, no, this is a great call. And I go, what?
Eric, here, I'm gonna get on my soapbox for a second. I'm gonna be in my get off my lawn mode. It was 3rd and 1, and they had that stupid ass Cole Kmet tight end sneak that Andy Reid and other teams have done. Okay, I get it, but it's been seen. I said Eberflus lost me there because you lost a chance to make a statement. Okay, Green Bay had no problem substituting a lineman in and reporting him eligible. I said this in the offseason. I'm like, get a guy in there, an offensive lineman, report him as eligible, have him as the Y, the tight end, the move technique, set him in motion, have him wham block a 3-tech, have him kick out a defensive end, one of those two. Kari Blasingame, your fullback that you signed last year that you don't use, have him up right behind him, and then have Deontay Foreman, because, Khalil Herbert's not a power back. Deontay Foreman and Rashawn Johnson are, and have one of those two guys run behind him just for that 1 yard. It sends a statement to the Packers that you're not playing around. It sends a statement to the division that you're not playing around. It sends a statement to the NFC that you're not playing around, and he blew it, not just on 3rd down, but on 4th down. I was like, he needs to just, you got to understand it. At that point, you're like, okay, it's mano a mano. We're sending our best against your best. And I think he missed a huge chance, and I was pissed about it. And I didn't get to ask him after because I was in the locker room before I went to the press room, and I didn't get to ask him about it, and I wanted to.
There's a way to run a quarterback sneak. And I don't care who the quarterback is. It could be the smallest guy in the world. But, the Sports Zone logo that's literally right over your left shoulder, it needs to form a wedge. And you need to be able to get down underneath the snake. I was sitting talking to the guy behind me who was in our group. And I go, that's what the Philadelphia Eagles look like in their quarterback sneak. Like, I don't care who it is. They're getting underneath you and rooting you out. Anyone remember last year's Dallas Cowboy quarterback sneak that went for 15 yards against the Bears? That's what it should look like. It shouldn't even be close. And so if you can't get under, and it's not like you don't know that you either do that or you don't do that. It's not like Eberflus and the rest of the team doesn't already know that. Like, you either practice it that way or you don't. And if you don't, then that's not what you lead off with for your first 4th down of the season, or whatever it was.
Or 4th, yeah.
And so that's what sends the message. Like, when you get commentators breaking down how well you run a quarterback sneak, that's not the only running play you run well. That's just one of many. And so there's an attitude that comes along with knowing that you can do that. You can pull that out at any time. And so I'm thinking at the time, when's the last time I saw the Bears dominate on any quarterback sneak ever? And under this certain current regime, I haven't seen it. And so I thought that whole thought process was flawed from the beginning.
Getsy's getting. I think he needs to get a lot of flack because we'll talk about Justin in a moment. But I also think Eberflus needs to get a lot of flack as well. There were a couple guys in the locker room who said that they just didn't have the juice. or they just didn't. How the hell do you not have the juice when you lost 10 games in a row? You've waited for this. You've picked up high price free agents. You had a good draft. People are talking about this upcoming season. It's the Packers. You're the second game of the day, the 325 game, which means everyone from the East Coast to the Rocky Mountains is watching you. The majority of the country is watching you. It's the oldest rivalry in football, and you don't have the juice. I think that falls on Eberflus, because that means if you're not having the juice and you're having brain cramps, then that focus is not. It doesn't happen on Sunday. Your focus isn't there on Saturday or Friday or Thursday or Wednesday. It doesn't happen that you don't have focus on Sunday. It means that you weren't. Am I wrong? Or
to me, this isn't. You didn't have focus from day one of the offseason. You didn't have any focus throughout the preseason. So it's not focus. I'm not convinced that Luke Getsy is the guy. It wasn't last year. I'm not beginning of this year. And there are some schemes that they run, both in the running game and especially in the passing game, some concepts they run that wouldn't make sense to anybody if you actually took some time and broke them down. And so I know we're going to talk about some other players and one in particular later, but right now, Luke Getsy deserves the brunt of what we're talking about right now, because it's not Matt Eberflus's offense, it's Luke Getsy's offense. And I doubt anyone's, it's not like his offense is being picked up by the rest of the league, right? Have you ever heard of anybody say, oh, what a great offensive coordinator Luke Getsy is? We're going to run that offense. I've never heard that been said before. And so I don't think he belongs in the pot of boiling water right now.
I couldn't agree more. Like I said, I think they should have made a statement. I think they had the first opportunity to, and they blew it. I think that the defensive side of the ball, I think Coach Williams is on the hot seat. He's in that boiling pot of water. It's going to be some jambalaya, let me tell you, because you can't continue to rush 4 and not get home with 4. You can't continue to do that. You have to bring pressure. And because I'm not worried about Jordan Love being Favre or Rodgers. I'm not. He's not in that category. But damn, he looked like a great game manager on Sunday. He took what you gave him. And as average quarterback can do that, and I think he's better than an average quarterback, but I think it's going to be a long time. Talk to you about the defensive coordinator and why you don't think that he brought any pressure. You just let him sit back there for hours and just picking us apart.
Did you watch the Monday night game, the Jets and Bills? Okay.
Yep.
So you know how they were talking about the Jets defensive line being 8, 9 deep?
Yep.
And Troy Aikman was on that call, right? He never made reference to the Cowboys that he played with. That's what they did. They had I don't care who was starting or who was backing up. It didn't matter. That's what the Jets have.
Yeah.
Currently. That's not the Bears. Like, the Bears are not that. And so you're right. I think obviously you'd love to put pressure on the quarterback with 4 guys. You'd love to do it. When's the last time the Bears showed they could do that in a preseason game or regular season game? It's been a while, like a long while. So I get how, this looks so much like the beginning of last season. It's not even funny, which I was at that game too against San Francisco. And the execution level on both sides is just not there. And you'd like to pin it on just Justin Fields, but it's not. It's well beyond that. And I know we haven't really kind of opened that door just yet, so I'll hold off on going further. But back to Alan Williams, yes, I think the defense execution level is not there, even though they got a lot of good young talent. But it just, for whatever reason, hasn't come together, at least in game 1.
Right. And that's the one thing that I was telling everybody. Yeah, it sucked. It was horrible. We're pissed. I think because we were so hyped up and we were disappointed. And then it turned to anger. I think the disappointment was really the biggest thing for most most fans, and they should be. And we should be disappointed because we've been waiting for this for a long time. Give me your thoughts on the preseason. Okay. David Hall we were when he got to Coach Eberflus in the press room, he asked that question. He said, would you reevaluate your use of the players in the preseason? How much do you think they should have played? Do you think it made a big difference that they only had 3 series, 2 series? They didn't play the second game, so he had 2 series in the first game, 1 or 2 in the second, in the third game. I mean, how do you feel about their lack of play, all the starters in the preseason?
Well, I'm going to focus on one of the starters, Justin Fields. And what bothered me in the preseason about watching him is it looked like he'd regressed all the way back to step 1 of last year, which is drop back. He's not playing it's not like he's reading the coverage before the snap, and then as the play begins to unfold, he's already ahead of what the defense is doing. He's not. He's looking over here, then over there, then over there. Like it's scattered. It does not look like he knows what he's doing. And that was in the preseason. So why is that all of a sudden going to change? Plus, you had a bye week to get ready, like the whole NFL did.
Yeah.
And why is it that you look like a high school team of Chicago, not the Bears? I don't get that. Well, I do get it, but I'm frustrated like you and like a lot of Bears fans are this whole weekend and today and beyond until they play again, that more hasn't been done in getting better prior to week 1. And everyone points to the preseason games. The preseason games are only an indication of what you've been doing up until that point. And if you can't play catch prior to the preseason game, during it, is it going to make that much difference?
You know, and guys, we're joined by former Bears quarterback Eric Kramer right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. You know, I'm confused. Like Justin Fields had these guys. They're down in Georgia with him. They're down in South Florida with him. They're out in LA with him. I'm waiting for this. Oh my God, we're going back to Air Coryell. I'm thinking, holy jeez, okay. These guys should be in sync. And he targets DJ Moore twice. Any God-given reason for that? 2 times you're the key piece in your trading of the number 1 overall pick, the cog in that wheel. You got number 1 receiver, averaged 1,000 yards over his first 5 seasons, and you throw to him twice, which he caught, and they're both first downs.
And Chase Claypool had 0 catches. And
we'll get to him later.
So, you know, I mean, you would think coming out of this game, it's not like Green Bay was on anybody's radar to be this year's Super Bowl contender.
No.
So how does it you come out with 2 very highly regarded receivers, and between the 2 of them, they have 2 catches. One has 0. And you got, to me, one of the better tight ends in the league, Cole Kmet, who was a non-factor himself. And I don't – it's not coming together. And just so you know, they don't fire players. They fire coaches.
That's the truth. You talked about Cole Kmet. Well, let's stay with Justin. And I was disappointed. And one of the questions, and I asked him in the post game, and when he was in, I was like, I'm not leaving anymore. Eberflus left, and Justin came in like, I'm staying here for this one. And I asked him, I was like, what were they doing to you? Because I knew what they were doing. I said, I know football pretty well. And they were running cover 2 most of the times. Like, you've never seen a cover 2 before in your life? Like, the middle's the and they're playing a deep cover 2 to stop. They didn't go deep once. Even if you just say, hey, listen, I'm going to have you run a 9. I'm going to overthrow it. But I just need that safety to know that it's there. And teams do that. I asked him, I said, what were they doing that prohibited you from throwing to anybody else downfield? He kind of gave me a little snarky remark, and he's like, well, what do you mean? He goes, Moon caught a touchdown. I was like, yeah, but everything else was to the side, was lateral. And he was like, well, that was kind of the game plan. And I was like, That was the game plan. I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, I didn't press it. It was my first time being credentialed, so I didn't want to have a back and forth. Like, dude, are you serious? You know what I mean? Like, I know football too, bro. We can sit there and go the hell with everybody else, in this room. Just me and my questions. So I just said, okay, cool. But it was frustrating, and it seemed like if that's the game plan, what kind of crappy game plan is that? Where you got Tyler Scott, even if it's like I said, just run down the field and scare the safeties. Let them know. Any reason that they wouldn't do that? Do they not trust Justin Fields? We've seen him throw deep balls.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen him do it last year. We've seen him throw deep middles to Komet, deep ends. We've seen those. Why do you think that those weren't implemented on Sunday?
I don't know the answer to that. One thing in watching Justin, though, that is bothersome. It was last year. Especially the beginning of the first half of the season. And now again, it looks like he's dropping back almost like he feels like, am I going to fall off the earth? Is the earth going to somehow slip out from underneath me if I go back too fast? What in the world is going on where you tiptoe back and you're sort of looking at the defense? It's almost like he's dropping back, waiting for the rush lanes to create themselves so he can get out of the pocket. He's not looking to surgically carve up what he's looking at. That's a given. I don't know if that's because the route concepts don't allow for that. I don't know if that's because he's just not progressing like he should. I don't know. But it's frustrating to watch a guy play that way for that many games in a row, and to start a season after you finished off in somewhat of strong fashion to then go back to that. I don't get it.
Yeah, one of the guys was asking, no, not this one. He was asking. He wanted me to ask you, and you hit it right in the head. He said, "What about his dropbacks are too slow?"
They are.
So how
he runs 4.4? How is it you run 6.4 going backward and 4.4 going forward?
Because I said, look, I'm like, well, here's the thing. If it's a deep, don't get me wrong, I agree. It's better, because they're talking about hitches and everything. I'm like, well, we didn't throw any hitches. We didn't throw any hitches. We didn't throw any curls. We didn't throw anything. Nothing. And I'm like, so at that point, like, okay, 3 steps, 5 steps, okay. My biggest thing with Justin is like, if they're playing a cover 2, which they did a lot, it's a cover 2. What routes are being run, so you should already have an idea. And now you start looking at a specific player. Who do I read? What does he do so I can make him wrong? And so that's what got me. So I was like, okay, maybe his drop back didn't have to be as fast, because once you know it's a cover 2, now you have to go to where you think the likelihood of, or find a guy you're going to read, the defender. So I'm like, okay, maybe the drop back didn't help, but apparently it does. And I was just frustrated because I didn't see no intermediates. There was no intermediates. They had 3 passes over 20 yards all game. One of them was a touchdown. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, this is unbelievable. And why whose fault is that? Is that Getsy's fault, or is that Coach Eberflus's fault? Say, hold, timeout. Let's get the goddamn ball downfield. Like, okay, like I said, you just run down the field and we're going to throw it and we're going to move that safety just so he knows we got speed. Does that fall on who's the bigger culprit, Eberflus or Getsy?
So Eberflus is not an offensive coach. So let's just the only power he has over this thing is to get who he wants to be the offensive coach. So then the shift goes right away to one guy, and that's Luke Getsy. So the idea with zone coverages are that you're going to always put one guy, one key defender in conflict. You're going to run 2 guys into a zone that he's responsible for both of those. You don't run those 2 guys into the same broom closet, right? You need some space. And so as you're dropping back, this is where the quarterback's responsibility comes in. It's cover 2, for example. And so you have plays that will put one guy, I don't care if it's a safety, a corner, a middle linebacker, the slot defense, it doesn't matter. You're going to create concepts where one guy gets in conflict and you just drop back, you focus on that. Eventually you get to that one guy, and with your body language and your deceptiveness with your eyes and so forth, you make him either stay where he's at and throw opposite him, or you move him to where he's already going and throw around him. You can't do that when you're looking over everywhere. You can't do that. So it's a combination of Luke Getsy not having the concepts that work, and the quarterback in not understanding what he needs to do to make whatever they're doing work.
Man. We're going to Tampa. All right, on Sunday. It's a must. I don't want to say must because your season's not over, but it's a must win. Okay, because you're looking at 0-3. Because I was so fired up before the season. I even said, watch for week 3. I was like, the Bears could really have a big coming out party because they're playing against the defending champs in Kansas City, and then Detroit goes and does what they do, and they blew it up. Now Kansas City's on 10, so then nothing sneaking past them, especially at home. Talk to me about the importance of this week in Tampa, because we know what's coming after that, and believe you me, Patrick Mahomes and that crew, they're not. If they were overlooking anybody and they were all focused on getting the rings that day and whatnot, believe me, they are laser focused now, and they're not letting a team like the Bears come through and steal a victory in their home in their home field. Talk to me about the importance of this week at Tampa to get in the win column for this team.
Well, good. Let's get back to week 2 and Tampa. And ironically, the guy who everybody wrote off, including myself, Baker Mayfield, quietly goes about and has a very good day in Minnesota on the road, which not ironically, but Minnesota goes 11-0 in one-score games last year.
Yep.
Turn the page this year, and the first one-score game they get, they lose. And now
Karma's the son of a gun.
And who does it? Baker Mayfield. And so here's a guy that himself has kind of weathered the twists and turns. In my opinion, was never should have been the number 1 overall pick, but was not his fault. But then there's been plenty of games that he's played where he's played really well. There's been plenty of games where he hasn't played really well. But he's weathered all that. How many teams is this now for him? 4 or 5?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
And so to me, this is the perfect scenario where the Bears, everything's wrong in Chicago with the Bears, right? Everything. From the top down. Well, what better way to kind of steer that ship back in course than to go on the road, go to Tampa Bay, and get back to executing your fundamentals in a way that where you come out with a victory. And now your season is back on course. And now, like you said, now you're going to Kansas City, trying not to look ahead. But there were as fortunate as, let me put it this way, as well as the Lions played, 3 factors worked in their favor. Chris Jones was out. Kelsey was out. And their entire receiving corps didn't know any. I bet you didn't know this. But they were all getting paid by the Lions that week. And so the chances of all 3 of that happening again is remote. So the Bears are not going to find that. They have those 3 factors when they go to Kansas City. So let's right the ship to begin with by having a good week of practice, then going into Tampa Bay and playing like they're capable of.
So a couple more questions, guys. We're joined by Eric Kramer, former Chicago Bears quarterback, talking Bears football here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. One of the guys wants me to ask you, is he fixable? Is Justin fixable? Or is it time to start looking for a Caleb Williams at that number 1 overall pick?
Well, I think that you just let the season play out like last year. I mean, prior to that New England game, it didn't look fixable to me. And then all of a sudden, kaboom, the lights turn on and he looks like a different guy. So he's not someone I'm going to write off, not this early. But it's disappointing to me and to a lot of people watching right now because he doesn't look a whole lot different this year's week 1 than he did last year in week 1.
And that is very alarming because you should be progressing. He should literally be night and day. He knows this offense. He ran it for a whole season. He learned it for the whole season. Then he had a whole offseason to refine it and really ingrain it in his head. And he's still not he doesn't look as comfortable as he should.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about, again, my focus is the coaching staff. When are they going to decide what their identity is? Because they don't have it. They don't know if they want Justin to be the gunslinger he wants, or if they want to. But you got 3 stud running backs in the backfield, but you don't pound the ball with them. How important is it?
Who didn't do much, by the way. And then the one guy's name who didn't get singled out this week for negative play was Braxton Jones, and yet it was every game last week he was getting singled out that way. So I think whatever he's done to get himself back on track, he should keep doing. And then the rest of them just have to mesh together and get healthy, because you start out the season with, I can't believe Patrick is even still on the team, but he doesn't need to be starting at center. And when and eventually Tevin Jenkins gets back playing left guard, that's going to be a help. Obviously,
Nate
Davis, who has barely been on the field all off season, gets in and shows that he wasn't ready to play. And so, I mean, it's unfortunately the offensive line that once again is sort of where the Bears are, falling behind. Yes, the skill guys didn't get it done. Yes, Luke Getsy, who knows what he is really as an offensive coordinator. The offensive line certainly has to come together and give you a chance, because without both sides coming and playing, it's going to be hard to be in every game late into the game.
Yeah, I feel you. Because otherwise, you're going to get blown out early, and that's not exactly what you want.
And this is not a fun game to play when you're behind for extended periods of time.
Yeah. I've been, believe you me. Yeah, I get it. I haven't been on very many teams that I was behind a lot, but the teams it was just like, Lord, we got a 3-score game. Oh my God, we scored a touchdown. Still a 2-score game. They got to have defense and score a touchdown again. Yeah, those games are definitely not fun. So what do you see? What do you think? What do you think about this week coming in? All right, do you think that Getsy and Eberflus make a change? You think Coach Williams makes a change? Because again, it starts with the leaders, the coaches, and then it filters down to the players. What do you think they come together with a better game plan? Because you can't keep throwing the ball to the sideline on bubble screens. DJ Moore is not going to take it to the house every single week.
No, you can't. You've got to be able to stretch a defense vertically and horizontally, and more specifically, you already going in. It's not like they're going to create new concepts, passing concepts. You already have to have in play routes that are going to, like I said earlier, put some key defender in conflict, and then you start getting first downs and check downs. The check down can't be the first guy. You can't be dropping back, waiting. Oh, it's now time for me to throw the check down. It doesn't work that way. You look from top to bottom, or right to left, or left to right, and you put the defense in a bind. It can't be where you're kind of Justin Fields and you're kind of hoping that you get a first down. It doesn't work that way. You have to have a solid running game. That's where I think this offense needs to start thriving, is with that outside zone, put pressure on a defense where you got to watch the 49ers, for instance. Watch how they start off a series with on 1st and 10 and get 12. Or they don't even come up. They don't even have third downs for most of the game. And that's what this offense is capable of doing. They just got to execute the fundamentals better than what they're doing. And so that's what I'm hoping that we'll all see once they go down to Tampa next Sunday.
A couple more questions, Eric, and we always love and appreciate the time you take out for us. Because I know it's early out that way. It's a little early for you. He went to the check down a lot. Okay. Could it be, and this is what happened with Mitch Trubisky. Remember after Mitch's breakout year, they're like, okay, well, we don't want you to run from the pocket. We want you to stay and be a pocket passer. And there were plenty of times that he had room to run to pick up a first down, and he didn't. You could tell he's being coached to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that right now that Getsy's saying, hey, this was a weak spot of yours last year, was hitting the check down? Do you think he overemphasized the check down, and that could be a reason that Justin was hitting the check down as opposed to letting a rip?
Well, I did see him go through his progressions and end up at the check down a few times. Nothing wrong with that. But there are certain plays that aren't being made down the field when they are there. So you can't just drop back thinking, eventually I'm just, as the time clock goes off, okay, now it's time to hit the check down. No, it doesn't work that way. You've got to go try to stretch the defense first. And if they happen to call a great defense and play it in such a way, it forces you to come down. Super. On 2nd and 5, and you pick up 8 with a check down, now it's first down again. And that's what we want. We want first downs. And we want to keep drives into the 8, 10, 12 play category.
Yeah.
So check downs do that for you, but only after you've struck it a few times. You've also got to run the ball well, because that helps set up your, when you're blocking well and running well, the defense has to overcommit to stop that. And that's what allows your play action game with only 1 or 2 receivers going out to get those big 20-plus plays, 20-yard plays. And didn't see any of that going on. And that's, as a sort of if you were going to be a conductor, right, of a concert, symphony, whatever, you would put all of that together, and that's, you show up to perform, and that's what the audience sees. That's not what we saw last Sunday.
Definitely not. Eric, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it as always. I was so fired up after the game. I was livid. I was just, and I think it was because my disappointment got over so quickly. I was hurt. I think I was really, really hurt, like Bear fans. Like we were waited all off season for this. All right. We endured the 10-game losing streak. All right. And we had to listen to the Green Bay fans. And then we started chirping a little bit. Oh, now Rodgers is gone. We got you. You guys started 1 game in 3 years. Ha, we got you. And then to lay an egg like that, when I want to say national, but when pretty much national TV, the whole country's watching, 3/4 of it anyway, and you lay an egg like that, man, dude, that was like a sledgehammer to my chest. Like, I'm not going to divorce you, but you know what? You need to go sleep in the other room for about a week or 2. I'm just saying. All right. And cook your own damn meals.
Well, the friends that I was with, our answer was, hey, we're in Chicago, which is Restaurantville. And so we went and ate it off over at Harry Carey's Italian Steakhouse after the game. Yeah, we're over it.
Nice steak, a couple glasses of wine helps you ease through the loss. Hey, great stuff, Eric. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, take care.
All right, thanks, guys. That's Eric Kramer, former Chicago Bears quarterback, giving it to us raw, man, and that's exactly what we want. That's exactly what we need to hear. I'm hurt. I think that's, I'm not a parent that I know of. But talk to me, parents, the guys who have, is the most disappointing thing, or the most hurtful thing when your kid disappoints you, does something to disappoint you? Is that the most, you're in your feelings? That's the hardest thing to take when your child disappoints you? Because that's what it felt like for my Bears. Like they disappointed us. They disappointed us. They talked a good game. They said this. They said, the whole hits principle. And I should have asked him, about the hits principle. But anyway, it hurt because same with my White Sox. You see all the talent. All right, they're not Super Bowl material. No, they're a draft away, maybe another free agent or two away. Okay, to be contenders. But man, to what we saw on Sunday was not indicative of the talent that they have. And I think that's what's frustrating as a coach when your players don't play. You know you've coached them well. You know you've gone through multiple scenarios, and then they just don't do it. It hurts because first and foremost, you look at yourself as a coach. I'm like, well, shit, did I get them ready? You know, did I prepare them properly? And there were some times where I thought I prepared them properly. We'd go over it, and then they didn't do what we practiced. Is that what you guys were feeling? Because I know anger came in. Anger came in really quick. But the root of that anger, was it because of the disappointment? Was it because you guys were disappointed? Is that where the root of your anger? Because that's where the root of my anger came from, and probably is still here. Is that I was so disappointed, and I got angry because of it. Man, Shorty, hearing our quarterback say all that clarifies that we're all seeing the same thing. That's right. And what's funny, you know, is when everybody sees it. You know, because there's certain things that like football people see that everybody, like average Joes, don't see. And it happens, you know, when you're pretty well versed in a discipline or a sport or whatever, you're able to see some things that the person who just doesn't have that much experience that can't see. But when everyone can see the same thing, then you know that those mishaps shouldn't be there when it's that obvious. Man, I don't even know. It's frustrating. Like I said, for me, I think the biggest part for me was still that I'm going to ride it till I die. Is that opening series? That opening series is you come and you smack people in the mouth. You set a tone for the year. Not only do you send a message to the Packers, not only do you send a message to the NFC North, not only do you send a message to the NFC, you send a message to your team. You send a message to your players saying, this is what we're on this year. This is what we're on. We are taking things on head first. Now, if it's too much for you, okay, just let me know. We're going to get people in here. We are going to go through people, not around people, not over people, not under people. We're going through them. That's a mindset that you have to have, especially in this game. Especially in this game. Because if you know, and all of us who played sports, all of us who played football, you know, when you face a team that has a reputation of being physical as hell, you know you're going to be in a dogfight because, man, I'm going to come out of here sore as a son of a gun. That is a psyche. That is imposing your will. That's where the mind games come in. Because they're thinking about the physical play. And if you continue to do that, guess what? There's going to be a point in time late in the game where they're going to be like, they might not want to be as physical. And that's the one you break. You might not want to come up and take that corner, or you're going to slide as opposed to taking on a tackle, a blocker, allowing a running back to get out, a receiver to get out and go. Big play, touchdown. If you get that reputation, I mean, hell, 85 Bears had a reputation. The 2000 Ravens had that reputation. Am I lying? There are some teams that have that reputation. Like, you're like, damn. And when you start thinking about the physical aspect of it, instead of doing your job, you start making business decisions. Like, all right, if I don't take this guy on because he's going to hit me in he's coming 100 miles an hour. Let me just kind of get underneath him or give myself up, and as opposed to doing your job and hitting him with the wrong shoulder, the right, the near shoulder or whatever, you start making business decisions because you understand the physicality of the team you're playing. We don't have that. Flying around's great. Swarming to the ball is great. I want people fearful of us. I want people, if you're going to swarm to the ball, I need people fearful of, one, you're going to get their head knocked off, and two, they're going to get that ball out. And I don't know how much that's being stressed. The attitude, the identity of the defense needs to be, we are going to knock the shit out of you if one of us holds you up. And that should be taught. First dude holds him up. Second of them, clean his goddamn clock. Clean his clock. Because what's going to happen, guys, once they get held, they're going to go down. If you hold them up, believe me, they're going to try and get down, and believe me, their ball security is going to suffer. You can put helmet on the ball because you're being held up when you're trying to go down. Pop the ball out. There's so many different ways, and it's frustrating as a former defensive coordinator. Like, this is the way I taught my players. First guy, secure the tackle. Secure it. Second guy, get the ball. Third guy, knock him into tomorrow. And usually second and third go boom, boom. Just like that. Boom, punch the ball out. Boom, here comes the third guy. Less than a half a second after, knocking a dog snot out of him. And this was back in the day, so they're still able to put your face mask in someone's chest before this game got all sissified and everything. So this is the thing I need from Coach Williams. This is the thing that he has to instill. Coach Eberflus, your defenses have been great in Indianapolis. You may have to spend a little more time with Coach Williams. And I'm okay with that. But who's going to be spending time with Coach Getsy? That's what I need. Because Getsy doesn't seem like the type of, you know what he seems like, that offensive coordinator who's very naggy-ish. Oh, my system works. As opposed to, what can my guys do? How can I alter my system to get the best out of my guys? I told you, Green Bay didn't have a problem subbing in an offensive lineman and having him report eligible. They didn't have that problem. San Francisco doesn't have that problem. And they have great run games. And they're not afraid to show it either. They're not afraid to show it. We're bringing this guy in. Look at film. See, defensive linemen, you got to understand, we prepare differently. All right, defensive linemen are used to dealing with guys literally a yard away from them. Okay, you're fighting, it's boom, right now, boom, 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 boom. Now you're fighting, you're twisting, you're this and that. Like sumo wrestlers, they're right next to each other. Get a guy who's coming, who's your speed, your weight, but he's got a head start. They're not used to dealing with those types of collisions. Okay? Defensive ends, maybe, because a lot of times you'll have counters and things like that. But at that point, if you see the counter, you're supposed to close and you're supposed to create your own momentum. But a lot of times they don't. So you got a 300+ pound guy moving, and a 300+ pound guy who's standing there, or a 280 pound guy standing there. I'm taking my chances on the dude who's moving and explodes on contact. Don't get me started. Too late. I've gotten started already. Let's finish up the last 5 minutes. We're almost done here. And man, listen, make sure you tune in today. This will be re-aired today on Wednesday at 4 o'clock 4 to 6. It'll be re-aired on Sports Zone Chicago on all of our channels. Okay, so make sure you check it. Check out our mobile app. Check us on a Roku channel if you're home. YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff. All right, my page, Maya's page. We're going to re-air this 4 p.m. today. I do want to talk a little baseball. We'll end this on that note. We were talking to Sky real quick. The Sky, all right, we talked about them early on. That's one of the reasons I did that, but just a kind of reminder. Today, 9 o'clock on ESPN, Sky, Game 1, the best of 3 series, Game 1 in Las Vegas. First 2 games are in Las Vegas. It's its third deciding game, comes back to here in Chicago. Sky were swept by the Aces 3 times this year. They lost. Highly unlikely, but if they can get one, then the deciding game is here in Chicago. So make sure you check that out. All you WNBA people, well, they should make as much as the NBA. Okay, good. Well, make sure you're watching so the numbers can go up. All right. But today, as far as baseball goes, all right, the Cubs can't afford this. They can't afford another loss in this series. All right, Colorado is 52-92. They are 40. Going into yesterday's game, they're 41, but today they are 40 under 500. 92-52, and you're losing to Colorado. 92-52, and you're losing to this team. Okay? That can't happen. That cannot happen. They have to take this one. All right? This is your playoff positioning is on the line. Your getting into the playoffs is on the line. Your playoff hopes are on the line. And you want to lose to a team that's 40 games under 500? What? Like, if they miss out on the playoffs, okay? If they miss out on the playoffs, you're going to look back and say, and depending on how many games, the Sox series, or they split with the Sox, they lost 1 or 2, 1 to Detroit, 1 or 2 to Detroit. You know, they got to win this game. This Colorado Rockies team today, they split it. The first 2 games, this is the rubber match. You needed to sweep all 3 games. Then you go into the Diamondbacks again. That's not an easy team. The Diamondbacks are not, they beat the hell out of you before. They're 76-70. All right. They're right around, you're equally yoked. So that's where you can afford to lose one had you been able to take care of business. Then you got the Pirates again. You got the Rockies again. Like, you have to take advantage of this schedule you got coming up. Have to. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's only 3 against the Rockies. 3 against the Pirates, 3 against the Rockies, 3 against the Braves before you close out against the Brewers. Good luck, because hey, thanks for tuning in, Shorty. I appreciate it. No, I'm not checking. I hope they made it ask tough questions of Flus and Fields today. Right now, yeah, we need answers. I'm gonna see if I can get credentials for tomorrow. Go up to Hallis Hall and ask about setting the tone. Okay, and why you wouldn't do that. You know, what is your identity? You know, Verna's in the house. Brandon, let the paramedics sort him out. You're damn right. You're damn right. That's a mindset. That's a mindset. My White Sox, who cares? Are they going to lose? Probably. Do we care? No. I might just bounce around from team to team to team to team. I just might. Who knows? But anyway, no, I'll check the Bears out in a second. when I get off with you guys, because it's about that time. 2 hours is come and gone. Unbelievable. Man, great show. Eric had people rocking. You guys in the chat were on 10. Barlissimo was in the chat. Brandon was in the chat. Shorty was in the chat. Junior's in the chat. Vernon's in the chat. Cornelius in the chat. Patty. Monica. Oh, man, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. That's why you make this the number one morning Chicago sports talk show around. Is your, Levette Lee is in the house. Because you guys get in. You guys ask questions. You guys are contributing, and that's what makes this fun. That's what makes this exciting. So listen, we're going to take a 46-hour break, and on the other side of the break, all right, we'll see you on Friday. Same bat time, same bat channel, 9 a.m. to 11 Central Time, as we get prepared for week 2 with the San Francisco 49ers. I'm sorry, I keep saying San Francisco. I don't know why. At the Tampa Bay, we're going to Tampa Bay. The Bears are in Tampa, taking on the Bucks. And they got to get to Baker Mayfield. They got to get this win under the belt. Otherwise, they're looking at 0-3, and it could be 0-5. So get to 1-1, and believe me, 1-1 is a lot better than 0-2 staring at the Chiefs. Because if you lose to the Chiefs, 1-2 is not a bad record. 0-3, that's a big cause for concern. It's a big, big cause for concern. So make sure, hey, we got a full day of sports. The Cubs start early. Okay, if you're a Cubs fan or if you're just a baseball fan, period, the Cubs start early today. They're at 2:10 on the Marquee Network. All right, or AM 670 AM, the flagship. The Sox are tonight at 6:40. All right, they're on NBC Sports Chicago, or if you want to listen to them on ESPN 1000 or their app, ESPN Chicago. And then the Sky tonight, or 9 o'clock because they're out west. In Las Vegas, game 1 of the best of 3 game series, opening round. It's 9 o'clock on ESPN. So we have a lot of sports. Check it out. Get your fill. Enjoy it and have a phenomenal, phenomenal day. It's going to be a little cooler today. A little cooler, but that's all right. Technically summer's not over, but it's fall. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it a buck. All right, high of 69. Enjoy it. Make sure you spend time with your loved ones. Make sure you give someone a call, someone you haven't talked to in a while, or text. Just send them a text or give them a call. Let them know you miss them, you love them, because as we all know, tomorrow is promised to no one. All right. I want to thank everybody here at Sports from everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago. Elliot Baez, our executive producer, Clarence Council, our social media guy, my co-host Maya Kai, and my guy Steve Weekly, my producer. So great stuff from all of us to all of you guys. Have a phenomenal week. It's hump day. Okay. After this, it's all downhill. All right. Tomorrow's Friday Eve for all my people in the struggle. And we will see you on Friday. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this week. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting up to Hallis Hall tomorrow. Get some questions into the coaches, the coordinators. They're available tomorrow. So there's some questions I would love to ask. Are you gonna make a statement? Are you gonna start using, backup linemen as lead blockers, guards with a head start? I'm telling you, defensive linemen are not used to dealing with people their size or bigger. Because defensive linemen are 280, 270, 280. You're getting 300 pounds moving in motion, coming to knock me out. Come on, man. If you don't know anything about science, you better, because inertia is a son of a gun. So we'll see. But anyway, folks, guys, have a great day. You guys have a great day. I have some stuff to do today. I'll be pretty busy. But hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on Facebook. Twitter, you know my handle. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all the same, the Shawn Sierra. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, I am your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Have a wonderful day, folks. And guess what? Let me tell you something. I am out. Deuces.